Thank you for joining us today for another great episode of Clean Money. Today, we begin our series, Tales from the Dark Side of Real Estate, where we share some of the more interesting stories of our adventures in this business. These kinds of stories really are rarely shared. And as you know, it's not all sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns. Even though all of those bobbleheads on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube want you to believe that. These will be short episodes, and we hope you enjoy listening. Let's begin today. I have Jesse here with me, brother, partner, commercial real estate operator extraordinaire, has taken on most of our most difficult jobs and has lived to tell the tale. So thank you for joining today, Jesse.
Yeah, definitely most interesting jobs. That's for sure.
So in line with dirty jobs with Mike Rowe or whatever, let's talk about some of the stories from our experience, and I think you have one for us. Yeah.
So this is an interesting one. We had a lot of these stories kind of revolve around we first take over properties, because we take over these properties that have not been managed very well or at all, and this is definitely one of those. So this is one about a lady, we'll call her Miss D, so I'm not revealing her name. Located at a garden style apartment complex. Miss D was dealing with cancer and meth, and I'm not sure which one was winning the fight, but she was our complex gossip. So I used to get messages all the time from Miss D about what everybody was doing. And on one Friday night, it was about the same. So she sent me a message, and I quote, "You have to get these boys under control. They lit my ass on fire."
So you get that, and how do you respond to that?
First off, it's midnight Friday, and the last thing I'm doing is going to respond. I have questions, but I'm going to try to not overreact and, check the news. Nothing's burning down, So, so through the process of going through the weekend, reach out on Saturday. Hey, you okay? She kind of denies it. It's weird. Come back on Monday, and I start talking to people, right? I find out that evidently a bunch of teenagers in the complex, this is when there wasn't hardly anybody living there. We were doing a bunch of renovations, but they were having basically fight clubs in the middle of this complex. And everybody would come out, sit around the balcony and watch and gamble and bet on people. And while she was watching, someone snuck up behind her with a lighter and lit her ASS on fire. Can't make this stuff up. It's 100% true.
We're not laughing. I feel bad for her pain, but just that's so random.
Right. Yeah. So what's surprising to me is that so many people were protecting this fight club. They knew the first rule of fight club, right? Then you don't talk about it. And it took a long time for me to find out from somebody that, like, hey, yeah, one of your maintenance guys is out there. Oh, okay. So I finally talked to him, and he broke down and said, this is what happens. Hey, it's okay. It's all under control. And it's obviously not under control. So
yeah, if you're running around setting people on fire, she wasn't set on fire, but
yeah.
but yeah, she was okay, clearly. But
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So lesson learned, don't give your phone number out, and don't have fight clubs on your property.
So you took this property over. You did not know there was a fight, or we took this property over. We didn't know there was a fight club. It's happening late at night. Nobody's telling anybody. Reminds me of a story about a apartment complex that had, lucha libre going on in the back. I remember that story forever, but super interesting, Jesse. Just
yeah. So that one, they actually had a ring and everything.
Yeah, that one they actually had a ring like set up like back in the trees or something.
Yeah. See, I guess what we did wrong here is we didn't capitalize on this. We could have had another revenue source, but missed opportunities.
Missed opportunities, right? we should have gone in and started betting on people, or
Yeah.
I mean, you're a big guy. You might have gone in and try to make some extra money on a Friday night.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, that wraps up this little episode. And if you thought this was funny or would like to hear more, make sure you hit the like button or subscribe to these podcasts. And we'll continue sharing just some bizarre stories that we've had here on the Clean Money Podcast. Thank you for joining.